What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are doing a bit of a delayed or late reaction to the big fight announcements and news from Baldy Dana White. He actually upgraded from his Wii Sports camera. He's actually got a new iPhone 4 now, so that's the camera we're filming on. We upgraded from the iPod and instead are filming fight announcement videos or fight announcement live streams for $1 billion company now on an iPhone instead of just our Nintendo Switch and our DS. But regardless, good stuff to see from Dana White, stepping up the production quality. Maybe, just maybe, we'll actually get a proper announcement for the first Paramount card of the year instead of IG Live. It would be kind of fitting though if Dana just announces the first Paramount bigger. Dana's going to announce the White House card on IG Live. Sorry guys, I got shit to do. I'm busy. And then just oh, by the way, John Jones is coming back. He's fighting Aspinall. Good luck, kid. I'm leaving now. Goodbye. That's all you're getting. That's what we're gonna get. But no, amazing fight announcements from Dana. 323 stacked, generational stuff, incredible card. Really just a hardcore, that's kind of been a running theme. These December cards have sort of been hardcore bangers cards, especially last year's and this year's as well. Just people Aljo Movzar was on the prelims last year of the December pay-per-view. It's just kind of a consistently just fun, solid card rather than a UFC 300, the casual names are going to love this, or the casuals are going to love these names. But it's just a great card. It's just a really fucking good card. So yeah, let's talk about all the matchups, give my early predictions, and breakdowns. I guess we can also predict some odds as well. I always like doing that. The odds are already out for the 2 title fights, obviously, but we can predict the odds for everything else. Anyway, like and subscribe, follow the IG and the Twitter and shit. Left Lane MMA. Trying to hit 1K on IG. We're almost there. Less than 100 followers to go. So yeah, go follow me on IG. I put up some polls and some shit up there sometimes, so follow there. Anyway, let's get started. Next up, or to start off, I always say next up when I'm starting the video. The first fight, the main event of the card, Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. I think everyone's going to just tell you the same thing, is everyone's going to pick Merab. I'll give kudos to whoever actually picks Yan. Who's going to bite the bullet and just risk looking like an either fucking genius or risk looking really dumb if they lose? Because I put up a poll. I'll read out the results of all the polls that I put up, because I just flooded everyone's subscription feeds and put up a bunch of polls. I swear to God, I lose 10 subs every time I do that, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Who cares? I've kind of given up on my subscriber growth anyway. But let's scroll all the way down. I put them up in order so you can go vote if you haven't already. But yeah, 88% of 1K, it says 1K exactly, not 1.1, so 1K people, and if that number is exact, only 1,000, 880 compared to 120 believe that Merab's going to beat Petr Yan. And so the odds came out, I believe it was minus 300 at open. Let's be honest, it's probably closing minus 400, minus 450. The only risk for Merab is just if he eventually stops just doing his infinite recovery glitch and just never being held back. It just feels it's this dude just bypasses all of the shit that you go through in a camp that actually makes it difficult to get to the fight, and it's just he can just fight. It's he's never really fighting on crazy short notice, but it's just quick turnarounds. He's never this is not in a month. This is a 2-month. This is pretty much a 2. Actually, no, it's a bit less than that. Honestly, let me check. How many weeks is it exactly? From right now, or from last. I'm gonna say from the 12th or from the 11th in America. So from that, because I assume that's roughly when it was booked or whatever. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Wait, hang on. Yeah, something it's a 7-week, 6 or 7 week. Shut up in the comments. 6 or 7 week turnaround. I think it's a 7-week turnaround for Merab. Petr Yan hasn't fought since July. I don't think it's gonna affect. He's kind of on his usual schedule. Yan fights once every 5 months usually, something like that. But good to see. And I was kind of interested because in my video yesterday, where I actually saw, obviously I saw the news that Dana was gonna be going live later in the day, and I kind of dropped my predictions and I said I kind of think we might even get like just the Merab. So I was like, I said the Merab Yan. I thought it was less of a possibility. I was like, even though that's kind of like what everyone said to do, and it was like, oh well, if he wants December, give him December. It still felt like kind of like, are they really going to do that? But they did, and I got most of my predictions correct. I didn't get the O'Malley song. I thought that was going to be like the fucking co-main event to a Pantoja van, because if they didn't do, I said if it's a strong card, we'll do 2 title fights. That'll be the feature fight. I didn't predict that just not being on the card, but seems like they're holding off O'Malley for that Paramount deal, and they figured out some other fights that they could get on that card to make it big. Because that's kind of the theme of this card, is like there's no massive stars on this card, but it's all just rock solid names and just good fights. Like they're pushing back Volk for Australia. They're obviously keeping Ilya for the, probably you'd imagine, first Paramount card. They're going to get Pereira obviously on Paramount, except like O'Malley, these kind of guys. They're going to hold them off for the big cards, right? But it's like, because if you look here, who's like the biggest star? Like I would say at this point, honestly, Merab probably has the most star power, but like he's not like a guy that like must be on like the first card of the year. So it makes sense booking wise. Prediction wise, I just have to pick Merab. That's the same thing as what everyone's going to tell you. Like you just can't, until you see something, until you actually see a decline from Merab, which I just haven't. Like, dude, now he's showing like a bit of pop in the hands. Like he was hurting Corey Sandhagen on the feet. Like that's my thing, is like I just can't. And honestly, I think Merab is closer to his prime, or more in his prime, than Yan. Despite the age, like I know Merab's actually older, so you'd think, oh, Yan's more in prime, like age-wise. I don't think Yan's looked quite as good. Like, I don't think Yan against Figgy or against, he looked good in rounds 2 and 3 against Song Yadong, but like I don't even think the Yan against like Figgy or even the Yan against Marcus McGee looked as good as the Yan that I've seen against like Corey Sandhagen. Or like Jose Aldo. Like, I don't know, it feels weird to say that, but like, in my mind, that's true. Or like the first Aldo fight. I feel like since then, he's just kind of been like, I know the Sandhagen fight was since then too, but like, in my mind, Yan hasn't looked as good. Like, he looked good against O'Malley, but like, I don't know, I feel like we just haven't seen him in that flow state, and I feel like even Merab was honestly a part of that, of just like, he still looks good in his fights, but there's a bit of hesitation there. And guys can win for, like, Song Yadong won the first round against him. Even Marcus McGee was, like, kind of fucking winning that first round. I don't know if he did. I think he might have. It was, but close. Like, that's the thing with Yan's style. It's just awful against Merab, or Merab's style is awful for him, because Yan builds into fights, and you don't build into a fight with Merab. Because we learned that with Umar. You have to win the first 3 or 2. You have to confidently, clearly win the first 2, and then have enough in the tank to win the third, and then have enough in the tank to just not get it finished. Like, you have to win rounds 1, 2, and 3. Or you have to do enough like a Sandhagen to, like, stay on the outside for long enough and, and just have rounds where you can have moments of success. But even, like, Sandhagen, I think, is actually a more difficult matchup for Merab than Yan. So, I think this is more of the same. I think this is another title offense. This will be number 4. Number 4 for Merab Dvalishvili, and if he wins this, it's really obviously on the same card as Pantoja. It's like, who the fuck else? Like, I guess at that point you would just have to run I think you just have to do Figgy, Song Yadong, and just give the winner a title shot. If Pantoja is dead ass, just like, I'm not trying to move up, like I just want to stay at flyweight and be the flyweight GOAT, and just doesn't want to move up, I guess you literally just have to do Figgy versus Song Yadong, and just give the winner of that a title shot, because unless Bautista beats Umar, everyone he's just beaten and fought everyone, and he's gonna start lapping. Like, he's already lapped O'Malley, he's about to lap Yan in my opinion. And I know there's some retards that'll be like, yeah, Umar, he's ducking the rematch with Umar because he beat him the first fight, and Umar hasn't won a fight since, because that's fucking logical. But yeah, anyway, let's move on though to the next fight. I spent 7 minutes on this shit. This is our fight. We will all be heavily invested. This is our main event. Pantoja, Alejandro Pantoja versus Joshua Van. I made my comparison already in one of my recent videos when I was talking about a potential Joel Alvarez versus Carlos Pratas matchup. I said this is the flyweight version of this for me. This is my Slade Wilson has a gun to Moira Queen and Thea Queen's head, or a sword, I forget which one it was, and saying, pick one, choose. This is the Shadow Sarah Lance comparison of like, bro, don't make me choose. Don't make me choose between my boys. I've supported these two since the start. These have been my guys. I've supported Pantoja in all of his fights. I've picked him in all of his fights. And I've supported Van since he made his fucking debut. These have been my boys since the start. And I'm like, I don't want to, like, as much as I want to see Joshua Van become UFC champion, he has time. And Pantoja needs to be the flyweight GOAT for me to be happy. And I need him to win this fight for that to be something that happens. Because if he loses here, he's not going to be flyweight GOAT. So, like, I have to root for Pantoja until he departs the division willingly, because I can't have him lose the belt to an actual fighter, because that'd end the streak. But if he can retire without taking another loss at flyweight, maybe after this and, like, one or two more, or just move up, we can cement that flyweight GOAT status, and then Joshua Van can win the belt. So, I think we will be putting our forces behind Pantoja here, but of course I will not be upset to see Joshua Van. I will not be upset to see Joshua Van win the belt as much as I do love Pantoja, and I don't want him to lose. The pick is Pantoja though. So yeah, I don't know. It's close though. It is tough, and that's the thing. It is a distinct, like, if Van's on the feet and can keep him on the feet, it is cooked. Like, it is kind of wraps for Pantoja. Like, not wraps because he's very good. But you'd imagine he does lose this fight comfortably if it stays on the feet for the entire time. But his pressure is crazy. He backed up Kai. Like, his pressure almost on the feet, it's sort of Merab-esque in terms of not like the relentless, like, takedown attempts, that kind of style, but it's like how aggressive he is and just intent he is on just coming forward and, like, making his presence felt. It actually, like, opened, just his presence in the cage actually opens up striking opportunities. And Joshua Van's chin it's not weak, it's not glass, it's not a bad chin, but it's also not a granite jaw. Like, it's not like he's never been tagged and rocked and dropped. He has been by a few guys, Borjas, Edgar Shires, obviously Charles Johnson fluked him, you know. I think a few other guys might have tagged him once or twice, but, like, yeah, he is hittable, and I know he's looked phenomenal recently, and that's why I think this fight is so compelling, and it's probably, like, my most anticipated fight on the books right now, honestly, alongside Islam and JDM. But in terms of personal interest and bias, this is my fight. Like, this is probably my most important fight to me on the calendar right now. I think Pantoja's grappling is too good, and I think that even though Van's athletic and he has done a really good job of stuffing takedowns, he hasn't fought what I would consider like an elite grappler to prepare him, or to even give him remotely the looks that Pantoja's going to. Because he's fought, let's run through his career. He's fought Zhalgas Zhumagulov, he's fought Kevin Borjas. I can do the order, I know the exact order of this man's career. Zhalgas Zhumagulov, UFC Jacksonville, June 22nd, 2023. Kevin Borjas, UFC 295 MSG pay-per-view in November. He then fights Felipe Bunes, January 1st card of 2024 in the Apex on the prelims. He was then booked for a few fights that kept getting... I can even name this man's booked fights. He was booked to fight Lucas Rocha in April on the Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis card. I know this shit. This is my autism showing right now. He was then booked to fight Sumadraji on UFC 302 in June. He was then booked to fight Tatsuro Taira on that card. Got cancelled. He was then booked to fight Tagir Ulanbekov. That would have been the fight. That would have been the fight to at least give me... And he would have beaten Tagir, right? But, like, that would have at least shown me, like, now I know, like, for sure, and I can be confident. But Tagir missed weight and pulled out like a bitch. He then, on, like, 3 weeks' notice, fought Charles Johnson and got fluked. Then he fights Shires on UFC 306 in the Sphere. Then he obviously fights Cody Durden in December, UFC 310. Then he fights Ray Saruya 313. Then he fights Bruno Silva 316. Royval 317. And now he's looking to get this one done. So it's been a crazy run for Joshua Van. But it's like, even just stuff like, if you're getting taken, like, for me to be like, yeah, Van really, like, I still definitely think he can win. But for me to, like, really be pushing the, like, Joshua Van's going to stuff all his takedowns, keep it on the feet and box him up narrative, he would have had to just not even be taken down, like, once. because as much as like he did make Ray Saruya go like 3 from 20, Ray Saruya is like one of the most basic takedown artists I've ever seen. Like he hit like a nice arm throw kind of thing, which was kind of tidy, but like he was shooting like the worst double legs and stuff, and he's just not as strong. Like Ray Saruya is built like a fucking twink. Like, bro, this dude's built like he's skinny. Like, he's not a strong grappling star. Fucking, why did I say that? That's a weird ass fucking way to describe someone. But like, he's built skinny. Like, he's not built like a real solid, aggressive, like takedown artist grappler. Like, he's got like, he was relying on like all this crafty shit to get takedowns, not just like strength maxing, right? Like Cody Durden took Van down for like 3 minutes, right? And so like, yeah, you got back up and you were able to stay out of damage, but like, or stay out of range of damage or submission attempts, but like Cody Durden and Ray Saruya and Felipe Bunez, who did take him down in their fight as well, none of these guys are going to possess the back taking or the finishing or the submission threat of Pantoja. So my thing is, unless he literally stuffs all of his takedowns, I think it's only going to take one for him to just get the back. And I don't think Van, with his, like, probably a third of the amount of MMA training, maybe even less, maybe a quarter. Like, Pantoja's 35. He's probably been training MMA since he was, like, a teenager, I'd imagine. I don't know the backstory of when he started. I know he did his Uber Eats, but, like, when did he start? Who knows? But I know Van started MMA, like, 6 years ago. Alright? So you're telling me, like, it's not... in Brazil, I'd imagine Pantoja was training some sort of martial arts, grappling-wise, at the age of, like, 11. So that's 24 years from 11 till 35, right? He's been training for, like, four times as much. So, like, am I supposed to think that just because I've seen good athleticism and get-up game and the initial sprawling ability from Van, that he's going to be able to deal with just the actual grappling, not takedown, but the actual grappling game of Pantoja, who can get takedowns from not just entries. He'll trip you out. He'll kind of toss you around. Like, some of those takedowns he was getting on Kai Kara-France, the back take he got on Kaya Sakura, which I know that win hasn't aged well, but, like, most of his wins have. And he just kind of does enough to win. And, like, maybe the fight's not a barn burner. Like, maybe Van is just that good that he forces Pantoja to just cockroach max and do sort of what he did in the Royval fight, which I maintain wasn't boring, by the way. That fight was not, like, insufferable to watch. People act like that was fucking, I don't know, like, just the most lay and pray grappling you'll ever see. And I'm like, dude, he was trying to pass guard and shit. Royval was just Royval was just locking him down and not letting him pass. But yeah, like, I don't know. The striking as well, like, yes, it favours Van if Van can get comfortable, but I back Pantoja with his experience to just not let Van get into a flow state on the feet, keep him guessing. I know Bedtime's saying this is flyweight JDM versus Bilal, and I'm just like, alright, I can get the Van JDM comparisons with the output boxing, right? And sort of the athletic takedown-y, like, kind of grappling, anti-grappling game. Like, they are quite similar. But what I can't get around is the Pantoja to Bilal comparisons. That is fucking blasphemy, and you deserve to have your speaking privileges revoked for suggesting that Pantoja is remotely the level of grappler of Bilal. Pantoja is so much better than Bilal. Bilal's, like, maybe pure double leg wrestling might be better. Pantoja's jiu-jitsu is so much better. His back taking ability is so much better. His submission threat. Bilal's never submitted anyone in his life. Like, there's just a different level of danger to, like, you saw Leon kind of just was snoozing, just like, I'm just kind of getting smudged here. When you fight in Pantoja, it's Kai Kara-France fucking fighting for his life off his back. Who Kai, historically, going into that fight, good defensive wrestler, 80+% takedown defense, but he hasn't fought Pantoja. Same thing with Van, 80% takedown defense against anyone but Pantoja, and I think it's just different when you're in there with Pantoja. So give me Alejandro Pantoja to get the win. I'm taking so long in this video. There's a 10-minute breakdown for this co-main event, but you guys know I love this fight. And again, this whole segment was me doubting Joshua Van in a way, but it's more me saying, like, I just think Pantoja's that good. That I think Van would beat anyone else in the division right now, but just not Pantoja right now. Again, I can't pick against. I'm never gonna pick against Pantoja because he's my boy. But like, I can't confidently be like, yeah, he's cooked until I actively see him. Like, if Kai France was dropping him and cracking him and like had him in trouble, and that fight was a razor close split decision, I'd probably be picking Joshua Van here. But the fact he just ran over Kai France, I'm like, I can't predict anyone to beat him until I see someone just stuff all his takedowns. Like, I can't do that. Anyway, let's move on. I've just spent 20 minutes on the first two fights, so I need to speed through some of these. I've talked about this fight already. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. This has been rumored for a while. It was originally for the Qatar or Qatar card, as Lucas Tracy would call it, the UFC Qatar card. I'm picking Bogdan, bro. Bogdan's my boy. And I know everyone's going to pick Jan because, like, yeah, it's kind of logical to pick Jan. But fuck logic, bro. Fuck logic. Everyone be calling me favourite lane MMA. If Bogdan Guskov is a favourite in this fight, sorry, I'm picking him. Like, I'm picking him already. This is why I want to make my predictions before all the odds come out, so I can avoid the favourite lane MMA allegations. Because I just pick who I think is going to win regardless of the odds. So yeah, if they happen to make... Like, they just happened to make Jose Delgado a favourite against Nathaniel Wood. It's not my fault I'm picking him. I was going to pick him anyway. It's not my fault that fucking the odds makers are clued in that Azamat Mirzakhanov's mid and didn't make him a minus 300 favourite like fucking Lucas Tracy would have you believe he should be. And I'm picking Rakic to win. Like, it's... I just see I pick the fights as I see them. So, I see this as a Bogdan Guskov is a fucking goofball and he's going to Goonskov his way to a win. And just land some goofy shit. And Blachowicz is 42, and I don't pick 42-year-olds to win fights. So we'll see what happens. And I know he was close with Olberg. I think Olberg's style against a style like Jan of just like, yeah, you can engage... Bogdan is not engaging Jan in a range kickboxing match. If you engage Jan in a range kickboxing match, he can look crafty with the low kicks and he can have his fight. Hey, I'm saying Bogdan's going to come in there, he's going to goof it up, he's going to defy logic, everyone's going to be like, bro, this guy hasn't beat anyone good, Blachowicz was a champion, how's he going to win? And then he's going to land some bullshit and crack Jan and finish him by TKO. Let's go, Bogman. He's my boy. Bogdan's goofy as hell. This is just budget Yuri and it's awesome. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. This is another one. I don't know what the odds are going to be, but like surely Moreno's the favourite, and I'm picking Taira as an underdog. If they make Taira a favourite, fuck off. I don't care. Like, I'm picking him. Like, don't... People are going to be like, oh, you're picking Taira. I'll guarantee you, if I didn't give my prediction now, and then come fight time, Taira's like minus 130, and I pick him, they're going to be like, oh, you're just picking him because of favourite. Like, nah, bro. Like, like Brandon Moreno objectively should be a favourite. He's the former champion with proven levels of competition, and we've seen him time and time again be reliable. I think in a 3-rounder, Tatsuro Taira can make this work. If that fight with Brandon Royval was a 3-rounder, I'm pretty sure he wins. I forget what the scoring was in that fight, but I think Taira won... Don't quote me on that. Hang on, no. Taira might have won the second and the fourth. But regardless, so I think I'm wrong. I think Royval won 1, 3, and 5. But, anyway, but I still think 3-rounder, I think this can favour Taira. I think Moreno can get his back taken and he can get controlled a bit. We saw Pantoja do it, and Taira looks not quite as good, but just as good as I've seen anyone look other than Pantoja at controlling that back position. The way he just manipulated Perez when he was on his back, even just how easily he just got rid of Park on the ground, even landed a good shot finishing him as well or dropping him on the feet. He just looks well-rounded. He's big. I think he's more confident. I think that Royval loss has done him well. Fix up some holes in his game, fix up the striking a little bit. And Moreno's looked good too, the Usyk fight, but like, has that aged particularly well? Like, we've just seen Kai France KO'd Usyk the fight before that, and then the fight after that, fucking O'Day Osborne almost packed this guy up in a round. So like, is winning a kickboxing match against him like the most impressive thing? Not saying like you can't, like he did what he needed to, he won the fight. But I think Taira can do enough with the range to kind of like not just get completely boxed up, and then I think he can mix in grappling, and I think he can get takedowns on Moreno, who isn't just a brick wall when it comes to takedown defense. He doesn't have like Darren Till level takedown defense, but I think he can stuff enough takedowns. I think he can score enough takedowns, to get enough control, maybe control the whole round, because I think if he does get on top, I think Moreno's going to find it really hard to stop him from like just keeping him there. and he's got submission threat as well. It's not like he's just a Gamrot kind of, or like a Makayev, where it's like, yeah, he's really just going to be just repeat entry, grappling, just holding. Taira actually goes for position, and he goes for submissions as well. So I think his grappling game is a little bit more complex, and I think it can be similar enough to Pantoja's in the way that he did have success in their fight. Anyway, let's move on. This shit is so random, bro. I don't know what to think of this fight. This is going to be the retirement of Henry Cejudo, though, so that kind of leads me to just pick Talbot, because I think everyone's going to be like, bro, but Barcelos took him down, and Cejudo was looking like decent against Song Yadong. My golden rule, I have a few golden rules. Don't pick 40-year-olds to win fights, even if they do end up winning. Like, I just don't want to do it, because it's just unreliable. There's a few certain fighters that I just won't pick to win fights, just regardless. Like Cheeto Vera is one of them. I just have now decided I'm literally picking Ayman Zahabi to beat Cheeto Vera. I hate Ayman Zahabi. I think he's mid as hell, and it's a disgrace that he might be top 10. But I'm picking him because I literally have sworn to myself that I will never pick Cheeto Vera to win a fight again, because he's just unreliable. Some of these guys, it's just the same thing. But another golden rule of mine is don't pick guys who are announcing it's their retirement fight going in. And it's fucking worked out pretty well for me so far. I picked Max Holloway to beat Dustin Poirier. I obviously picked Zhang fucking Mingyang to beat Anthony curl up in a fetal ball position Smith. Robbie Lawler's the only one who I picked against him because it was his retirement fight and he won. I'm trying to think. John Jones wasn't announced going in. That doesn't really count. I'm trying to think. Someone, and I don't want to hear shit about, Michelle Waterson Gomez or something. I picked her to lose. But yeah, don't pick old people who announce that they're retiring going into a fight. It means they're 1 foot out the door. Fucking Frankie Ed got flatline KO'd in his retirement fight. It just doesn't end well. And I just think Cejudo, dude, he's a midget. He's going to be a big side. That's the thing. I think he was able to have a bit of success with Song Yadong because the size advantage wasn't too crazy. And so he was able to... His striking is still solid. But I think Talbot is going to be so much bigger than him. We're looking at a former flyweight versus Talbot, who I don't think, if he bulked up a little bit, would look that outsized at featherweight. He's going to be a big size, big reach advantage, speed, athleticism, and the takedown defense and the grappling looked a lot improved in the Lima fight. That's the benefit of him being 27, is he's improving rapidly between fights. So that's why I just was like, oh, Felipe Lima's going to fucking ragdoll this dude on the ground. But it's like he just magically is now a fucking GOAT level grappler and just was taking down Lima and ending up on top and having success in the grappling against him. Not just defending grappling. He was doing better. He won the Lima fight via grappling. So he's going to improve. He's still got that KO power. He's still got that KO potential. I think we're going to forget that as well. So don't be surprised. I know Cejudo's got a block chin, but he does get tagged. He does get rocked a little bit at times. Don't be surprised if Cejudo gets tagged up and finished in this fight or just outstruck to a decision. I'm taking Peyton Talbot to win this. I don't pick 40-year-olds, and I don't pick guys going into their fights saying they're going to retire. So both don't work for Cejudo here. And I don't like Cejudo anyway. So I enjoy... Some people I just don't want to pick, because if I pick someone to win, I'm usually rooting for them to win, because I want my pick to be right. I don't want to root for my pick to be right if I'm picking fucking Henry Cejudo. Anyway, let's move on. Now, this card, the undercard, has so many good lightweight fights. Well, not so many, but a lot. We got Fares Ziam, Nazim Sadikov. This shit is fucking incredible. I love this fight so much. This is great matchmaking. I thought they were going to keep Sadikov, Nazim on the... Similar names with the Zs. But I thought they were going to keep him on that November 8th card, which he was originally... Before Gamrot stepped in to fight Charles, he was originally going to main event an Apex card against Mateusz Gamrot. Interesting stuff. Instead, he gets Ziam. Obviously, Ziam pulled out of that fight with Quay Fernandez because his grandmother died. He had to sort some shit out there, so rest in peace to her, obviously. Whatever you need to do, I guess, family-wise. I mean, family first, obviously. Disappointing he didn't get to fight, because that Quay Fernandez fight would have been sick. This is going to be, not similar, but, it's got a similar appeal of just really technical... Good fight. I want to see who Quay Fernandez fights next as well. Also, side note, we need to do Harry Hardwick versus Angel Jubilee. I need to see the crash out from MMA Guru if Anshul Jubilee beats Harry Hardwick, because that would really signify the end of England as a fucking country. But at that point, if Anshul Jubilee beats Harry Hardwick, honestly, you just have to leave. All the English people there just have to leave and just give up the country, and they can all fucking go live on, like, I don't know, the Isle of Man or some shit. Just leave the mainlands to everyone else. But what's it called? So that's regardless. But I'm picking for Ziam. I still think he's really good. I have him a number, or not we, like, you guys voted for it. So before anyone says, like, oh, Left Lane's biased, he put Ziam in the fan rankings. If I put up an offer, or an option, I should say, for a poll, and you guys vote for it, that's not me being fucking biased. If you don't want someone in the fan rankings, click no. I'm not just saying, my options are not, should Ziam be ranked, and then the options are 15, 14, 13. I said, who should be the number 15 ranked? And yes, one of the options was Ziam out of 4. You had 3 other people and you voted him. So don't come at me and be like, why is Ziam ranked? He's on a win streak. He's on a good win streak. He's KO'd Matt Frivola and beat Mike Davis. Those are good wins. And also, who else do you want ranked? Fucking Michael Chandler or some shit? Like, this is retarded. But I think he's going to beat Nazim Sadikov. I think Sadikov is good, but I still don't love, like, scrappy fights with Nicholas Motta and Vyacheslav Borshev. He's a sick fighter, and there's an element of, like, I do think he's definitely, like, tougher and more gritty than Ziam. So if it gets into those later rounds and he can really push a pace on him, like, maybe he can break him. But, like, I don't love a fucking majority draw with Borshev, and I don't love a borderline getting finished by Nicholas T-Rex Arms Motta. Like, that's just not something that I'm thinking is a great look. I think Ziam's real good. Haven't seen him fight in Vegas in a while. When's the last time he fought in Vegas? Must have been one of those Apex cards. Because his last few fights were like, Mike Davis was in Saudi Arabia, Frivola was in Paris, the Puelas fight was in Mexico. So he hasn't fought in, like, Vegas, in front of an actual American audience. So hopefully he can look good here. But the winner of this fight, absolutely ranked, getting a higher ranked... Like, the winner of this fight should be fighting Moicano, in my opinion. That's, like... Moicano needs to stop being a bitch, realize that if you're coming off multiple losses, you have to defend your position, and stop being a rat and calling out Dan Hooker and fucking Paddy Pimblett when you're coming off losses. You ain't relevant in the division right now. Defend your spot. So yeah, Moicano, if he's not going to get a fight in before this fight happens, guess what, buddy? You can fight the winner, or you can fight fucking Quay Fernandez or Ignacio Bahamondes or some shit like that. Or you can go get packed up by Fiziev. Anyway, let's move on. Another dope fucking lower ranked / unranked lightweight fight. This is what I mean. I've had this take for ages. For unranked / lower end lightweight, like from like 10 to 35 or from like 10 to 40 at lightweight is better than the ranked portion of like heavyweight, light heavyweight, honestly most of bantamweight even. Like, are you really going to sit here and tell me you're not more excited for Nazim Sadikov versus Ziam and Grant Dawson, Manuel Torres? You're less excited for these two fights. You're more excited for fucking Ante Deliha versus Waldo Cortez Acosta or Sergey Spivak, Shamil Gaziev, all respect to the blob, but like, seriously, I'm more excited for unranked lightweights than I am for ranked heavyweights or any women's MMA fight. That's not a hot take, but like some title fights, bro. Like I am genuinely more excited for Mateusz Rebecki versus Ludovic Klein than I am for Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. And there's gonna be the people who are like, bro, trying to be different, bro. And I'm like, nah, dead ass. Like that fight is more compelling, more interesting, and just more fun to me than majority of like the fights that you're putting together at 205 or 265. But no, as far as this fight goes, this is coin flippy as hell. Like, it's very similar to the next fight I'm going to discuss between Chris Duncan and Terrence McKinney in terms of not quite the same style, but the concept of like, either this is Manuel Torres KOs this dude out cold in like a minute, or Dawson just fucking dominates him in the grappling. And it's like, if you pick Dawson and he gets slimed out immediately, you're going to look like an idiot. And if you pick Torres and you be like, Torres is going to smoke him, dude, and then he gets ragdolled, you're also going to look like an idiot. So like, I don't see a world where this is like a 29-28 competitive fight. This is either, this is domination one, this is brutal finish one way, or prolonged domination the other. But I just don't think Dawson's actually looked as good as I thought he did. Like, I know, and also that's the thing is like that. You know when fight results just kind of loom over your head when you're picking other fights. You know, I cannot get Bobby Green chinning this dude with a jab out of my head. Like I know he's not like that anymore, but like, cool. You beat Rafagas, you beat Joe Selecki by fucking very prolonged, boring decision. You finished Rafa Garcia on the ground. That's not bad. The CDF win I don't think was that impressive, and also hasn't aged that well because he's got chinned by fucking Alexander Hernandez. Compared to Manuel Torres, whose wins are aging well, whose wins over Chris Duncan has aged very well. Obviously KO Drew Dober, maybe not all of his wins aging well, but like, you know, the KO over the brutalization KO over Nicholas Motta has aged pretty well. Nicholas Motta, who's KO'd Tom Nolan, who was having a really good round against Nazim Sadikov. Like, the loss to Bahamondes is a very different stylistic matchup to what you're going to see here with Dawson. Dawson, I just don't think can do damage to people on the feet. And I think Torres is athletic enough to keep him off him in round one and find a finish. So I'm going to pick Torres with a lot of hesitancy because he might just get taken down. That is the issue here. Anyway, though, let's move on. Next up, thought it was going to be McKinney Duncan. Now, this says just rumors. This is official now. When I was setting up these templates before, it was just rumors. But now officially announced, Marvin Vettori versus, what's the kid's name? Bruno Ferreira. This might be the chin cracking, boys. This might be finally where the chin goes. We'll see. This could be a Vettori crafty win, but I just think Vettori is so basic and so hittable. I can't rely on him to have defense. And if you don't have defense against... this dude chinned Robocop, dude. Like, this is my thing. This guy has power. Like, this dude will put you away. And it was almost the same sort of thing as, like, how shocking it was to see Robocop get, like, just flatlined. I feel like we might see that with Vettori and be like, yo, the hell? Vettori, what? How? What? And, like, it's just like, whoa, Vettori just got fucking chinned. And it's like, how the fuck has that happened? But it does. Because Vettori's been getting hit a lot, getting tagged up by Brennan Allen. He's just so basic. Like, bro, Roman Dolidze should not be fucking playing UFC 5 on you and just, like, button mashing and landing whatever he throws. Like, that should not be working. I just think he's so bad. Like, he's just, skill-wise, he's not good at all. And I don't think Bruno Ferreira is that good either, but, like, I think Vettori just doesn't really have anything coming back his way to, like, he's not some slick striker, he's not some elite grappler. He doesn't really have anything. Like, he just doesn't mix it up at all. How the fuck did this guy beat Paulo Costa? Anyway, though, yeah, I'll pick Ferreira by KO first person to chin Vettori. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Chris Duncan, Terrence McKinney. Now, this is, again, like, I'm going to look... If I pick McKinney, why is McKinney tempting me with this pick? Why am I tempted to kind of pick Terrence McKinney here to finish Chris Duncan inside 2 minutes? Because we've seen it. We've seen Chris Duncan get submitted in a minute 30 by Manuel Torres. Different style, I know. So that's like... I could just be safe and be basic and just pick Duncan by later rounds finish. Because, like, by second round finish. Because that's realistically how a McKinney fight would go. But, dude, like, I don't know. I don't... he beat Rebecca and I still don't think Chris Duncan's good. Like, I picked against him in, like, all of his fights. I picked Torres to beat him. I picked Balazs Yoki to beat him. I picked Vucenic to beat him. I picked Rebecca to beat him. It's the same as Davy Grant. They're very similar. Chris Duncan and Davy Grant. I never pick either of them to win. And I think I just have to commit. So I think I'm going to take McKinney as a big underdog. He'll probably be like plus 200. And I'm just going to pick McKinney by like round one immediate. Like just gets the back in a scramble, gets a choke submission. But, like, there's no fucking logic to it. Like, this fight is no logic. Like, if you pick McKinney, there's no logic. It's just, like, he's aggressive and might finish him. And if you pick Duncan, it's just, like, I don't trust McKinney to win a fight past 2 minutes, which is fair. But I don't know. Fuck it. We ball. I'll take McKinney, I guess. Anyway, let's move on. This is, like, really the only fight I could not care any less about on the card. Like, this is the one irrelevant fight, I guess. Maybe she'll pull out again. But... this other one, they're still trying to gaslight us into thinking Mansour Abdulmalik is good, but they'll probably succeed and he'll KO him and they'll be like... And then Joe Rogan will be like, this guy is like a Tiber Gaultier, my fucking boyfriend, my bull, that fucks my wife while I watch. Like, that's going to be Joe... People forget, man. Like, that's going to be Joe Rogan with Mansour Abdulmalik when he gets a KO here over quite literally the worst fighter on the roster. But no, this card right now, damn good card. 12 fights, I believe, 5 main card, 4 prelims, 12 or 11, maybe 11. So maybe 2 or 3 more fights. Bro, if we really want to stack this, give me a Vallejos, give me a Vinicius Oliveira, give me an Ateba Gautier. There you go. If those 3 or even 2 of those or even 1, like they'll probably get Gautier on here on a quick turnaround, maybe. But like, dude, can we get a Vinicius Oliveira? Can we get a Vallejos? Can we get a Melky Costa? Like, give me someone, and this card is fucking generational. Anyway, that'll do it, guys. Big ass, long ass video for you guys today. Brady Morales also got announced. I'll talk about that in an MSG full card preview because I'll drag it out and I need content. Anyway, goodbye.